40 years of Reaganomics is devastating millennials and keeping them out of the middle class. Check it out. Leave your comments, ding the bell, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. Poverty is not just, poverty is everywhere in the United States. We now have the second highest level of poverty of all the OECD countries. And keep in mind, the OECD includes Mexico and Costa Rica. It's 34 countries. I mean, the first 15 or 20 are the really well-developed and top democracies in the world, principally in Europe and the United States, Japan, South Korea. None of them have this kind of poverty, 40% poverty that we have in the United States. None of them. None of them have a homelessness crisis like we have. I was just saying, back in the 60s, I hitchhiked all over this country, and so did Louise, actually. But I hitchhiked down to San Antonio. I hitchhiked out to San Francisco. I lived there for the summer of '67, as I recall. No, summer of '68. We hitchhiked back to Michigan. Spent time in all kinds of cities. I never saw homeless people. There were some of us, we were camping out in People's Park, but it wasn't because we were poor. I didn't have any cash, but I could have gotten it. I could have gotten a job. My parents could have helped me out in small ways anyway. But now we've got literally homelessness, 40% poverty in the United States. Half of America would be shattered by a $500 unexpected expense. And yet almost all of our insurance policies have, deductibles and co-pays and things that add up to thousands of dollars. And millennials are getting hit by this really hard. Robert Reich lays out the 4 reasons why millennials don't have any money. Millennials, by the way, are not teenagers anymore. They're in their 20s. They're entering the workforce. The number 1 reason, from 2007 to 2017, the year that millennials were beginning their careers, median wages grew by an average of just 0.3% during that 10-year period. So millennials have seen no growth in their wages. But at the same time that wages haven't gone up, as interest rates have been driven down by Donald Trump jawboning the Fed, demand for housing has gone up, and the price of houses have exploded. Because of the lower interest rate, you can make the same monthly payments and buy a more expensive house. And so, the housing has gone up right through the roof. Adjusted for inflation, this is the same thing as, by the way, happening to college education. Adjusted for inflation, the average college education in 2018 cost 3 times what it did in '78. And I can tell you, in '68, when I was going to college, it was so cheap that, I paid for my tuition working, pumping gas in an Exxon station, an Esso station. Number 3, debt. The average student graduate is carrying $28,000 in student loan debt and $5,000 in credit card debt. Things that were virtually non-existent in the 60s. This stuff all really started to take off with the Reaganomics, with the Reagan era. And finally, companies are no longer offering benefits. 20 years ago, more than half of the Fortune 500 companies offered pension plans. Not just health insurance, but pension plans as well. Today, only 81 of the 500 companies, and most of them only offer them to their more senior level officials. As a result of that, fewer millennials are entering the middle class.